How are we all doing, folks? My name is Sam Dzik. I am part of the Vickery Lab, which is part of the psychology department here at the University of Delaware. I am a biology major, also minoring in psychology. The title of this poster is Taxonomizing Visual Spatial Illusions Using Individual Differences. And for this presentation, I hope you don't mind, I will be reading off a pre-made script that way so I don't stumble as much as I probably will anyway. Optical illusions are amusing and perplexing pictures that force us to face the fact that our visual perception is not as perfect as we might believe. In psychology research, however, they act as a useful tool to understanding the mechanisms and characteristics of the visual system and visual perception. However, one limitation of current research is that there are many variations of illusions that have similar effects, but how they are interrelated is not clear. In the two experiments presented here, we attempted to compare the strengths of these illusions across individuals and gain some insight into how they relate to one another. The goal of these two experiments is to be a precursor for a more efficient and refined study of organizing illusions into a taxonomy that may imply shared perceptual and cognitive mechanisms, which could be the target of future work. One illusion of focus is the object-based warping phenomenon, which I'll now term as OBW. That illusion is displayed right here in this graphic. OBW is a more recent discovery, and at first glance, the effect of the illusion might not be obvious. But it is just as consistent as any other illusion, and its magnitude of effect has never been compared to anything similar before. Experiment 1 and 2 contain the same illusions of, as I mentioned, object-based warping, Canopus, and Muller-Lyer. Experiment 1 exclusively has Delboeuf and Ebbinghaus, while experiment 2 has Ponzo and vertical horizontal illusions. For the test procedure, participants adjusted the size of a yellow shape in the bottom right of the computer screen in order to match the size of the red shape in the top left. They adjusted the bottom right shape with the top left one, which is red. They adjusted these sizes by using the movement of their mouse, which is displayed in these two graphics here. For each illusion, we measured the strength of the illusion and a baseline or comparison display that either did not induce the illusion or induced the opposite illusion effect. We then determined the strength of the illusion for the participant by contrasting the amount of error in each of these contexts. Experiment 1 had 28 participants, while experiment 2 had 107. The box and whisker plots induced with the violin plots show the distribution of magnitude scores for each illusion. Magnitude is calculated by the percent error score for each trial, was averaged based on the trial conditions, and was subtracted by the average score of the overestimated illusion by the underestimated illusion. Majority of the scores were in the positive, so the illusions manifested as expected overall. To explain what these weird shapes mean, the width here at certain score of the violin plot basically signifies the distribution of scores that are shown at that specific score here. So the wider it is, the greater the distribution of scores, and the thinner, like up here, means less scores were in that score. Here are the scatter plots of individual illusion comparisons. Out of the 42 different correlations, only 8 were of interest. All of them are either statistically significant or close to it. A positive correlation supports the idea that they share a common mechanism. Additions to future testing will induce the implementation of a virtual chin rest, which could control the visual angle so that it is consistent across participants and their environments. We could also include additional illusions and employ an improved, larger sample of participants to increase power. We intend to use the current work to perform a power analysis to help us to plan the study. Further on, these studies will guide MRI research that may help us to gain an understanding about common and distinct mechanisms that produce these visual illusions. Thank you.